Hey gang, it's Saturday, so that makes this the last frame of the week. A casual conversation with my loyal subscribers, a quick look shot breakdown, and at least one other cool TOG tip for the week. I have some super cool, totally awesome news this week. No, Nikon hasn't lowered the price of the D810. I finally get to... No, Canon hasn't dropped their prices either. Sony, Panasonic, Olympus, no, and no. Sorry, gear is still expensive. I finally get to announce that I've been selected as a member of the YouTube NextUp Class of 2016. YouTube NextUp is a program where YouTube handpicks fast-rising creators and puts them through a week-long boot camp called Creator Camp at one of the YouTube Spaces production facilities. The camp is designed to help us improve our channels by improving our production skills and giving us a lot of guidance on audience development. So in 2 weeks, I'll be spending the entire week at YouTube Space New York with 15 other YouTube creators learning from video production professionals, channel development folks, and a load of really awesome YouTube people. I'll also be shooting a video for you guys while I'm there. You know, talk about a kid in a candy shop. I am so looking forward to this because I get to learn, not only from people with all kinds of experience in TV and film production, but from 15 other YouTubers who are working their butts off to do the same thing as I am. Create new, awesome, entertaining, and educational content for our subscribers. I promise I'll share more stories about my experience in New York and also some photos of the YouTube space. I've been there once before for a workshop and it is a seriously cool facility. So, a few housekeeping notes. I want you folks to know that I do listen and your opinions do matter to me. In the last few weeks, a few people have pointed out that the crash sound effect that I use as section dividers is too loud. And folks in countries outside of the United States have reminded me that they're on a metric system, so inches and feet don't really help them. Consider both of those problems solved. I also wanted to thank all of you for the extremely positive feedback about yesterday's video on the topic of practice. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out here. I'm always worried about posting videos that are just me talking instead of showing lots of photographs, but it was great to see that you all really want to learn. I'm going to pick an image each week and show you a lighting diagram and any behind-the-scenes photos or video clips that I may have of that shoot, and walk you through the shot and the decisions I made to create it. This week, I have a simple beauty shot that was done with bounce flash. That's right, I said bounce flash. The reason I picked this shot to share with you is to make a point about what's in front of your camera. A wise old photographer many years ago taught me the phrase, crap in, crap out. Except as you can imagine, he didn't use the word crap. That advice has stuck with me all these years, and it's still relevant even in the digital age. We all rely more and more on software like Photoshop and Lightroom to fix it in post. And I, for one, consider myself lucky to be able to do that. But understand, if you want to make an epic picture, you have to create an epic moment in front of your camera. Heck, don't take my word for it. Look at the work of the more famous shooters that you find posting videos on YouTube. Fashion photographer Lindsay Adler and Frank Doroff. These photographers work with teams of extremely talented people and create epic scenarios to photograph. That's why their photography is amazing. If you put a girl with messy hair and little makeup in front of your camera, don't expect to have an epic photo even after Photoshop. So the real credit for this shot goes to my makeup artist. This entire idea was hers, from the makeup to the couture. All I did was place my subject about 1.5 feet in front of a purple seamless backdrop. I set an Alien Bee B800 on a stand about 1 foot behind me and aimed at the ceiling halfway between the light and my subject. And yes, you could do this with a speed light. I placed a white Walmart reflector just below the model's face, and you can see the catchlight reflection of it in her eye. Now, I shot this a few years ago on a Nikon D700 with a 70 to 200 millimeter zoom at about 110 millimeters. ISO was 200 at f6.3. I wanted to begin with this example because as I watch photographers post images in my Facebook group, I find quite a few of them doing some really cool things with lighting and still being very frustrated with the outcome of their shots. And it's frequently because of the lack of attention to detail that went into the subject. They're putting all their attention into the gear. Now you know why I go with kiss it when it comes to lighting and equipment. I want my attention to be on my subject. The lowest ISO is the best ISO. Your camera's lowest ISO setting is called the base ISO. Now every camera is different, so it's really important to know the base ISO of your camera, and you should try to shoot at that ISO as much as possible. Most cameras are designed to perform much better with regards to dynamic range and noise at their base ISO than at any other setting, especially when you compare that to the very high ISOs. As you raise your ISO, your images begin to pick up noise, which is similar to the grain effect that we saw in film. Now this doesn't mean that your photos will suck at ISO 200 or 400 or 800, quite the opposite. The camera technology we have today has progressed to a point that we are able to take amazing images in very low light conditions. But the fact remains, you will still have a higher quality image with regards to noise and dynamic range at your camera's base ISO. So the simple rule, if quality matters to you, always shoot at the lowest ISO that you are able to for any given situation. Don't be the photographer that just sets their camera at ISO 400 so that they don't have to change the ISO as often. In other words, things really haven't changed that much since the film days. So until next week, remember that your best shot is your next shot. So keep learning, keep thinking, and keep shooting. Adios. Thanks for watching. If you find these videos helpful, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. And if you've got a question that you'd like answered, post it in the comment section below. Your question could be my next video.